The film begins in a London nightclub where Danny Dolinski, a contract killer nearing retirement, is enjoying himself dancing among the young crowd. The next morning at his apartment, several women are resting on his bed and couch as he emerges from the bathroom after a shower. Later, Dolinski visits a doctor who removes a bracelet from his right hand following joint fusion surgery. The doctor advises him against returning to work immediately, as it would strain his fingers. However, Dolinski insists he must work, prompting the doctor to recommend using his left hand as much as possible. That afternoon, while working at a cafe, Dolinski takes a smoking break in the alley behind the cafe. There he spots a car from which a wounded young man named Doug emerges, speaking in coded language. Dolinski instructs Doug to wait in the car, then promptly closes the cafe and takes Doug into the kitchen. Doug reveals a scissors-inflicted abdominal wound and asks for a tetanus shot. Dolinski makes a call, assuring Doug that a doctor is coming soon. Doug questions if he should have fled, but Dolinski reassures him that staying was the right decision. Dolinski shows Doug a photo of a picturesque beach in the Philippines, promising the company will send him there for vacation. As Doug gazes at the photo, Dolinski shoots him in the back of the head, causing pain to his injured hand. Afterward, Dolinski meets his boss, Opal, who expresses frustration over Doug's severe mishandling of a recent assignment. He failed to eliminate the intended target and instead killed the target's wife and 2 children. Dolinski requests to return to active assignments, emphasizing his impeccable 30-year record with no mistakes. Opal rejects his request, explaining the company is moving toward younger operatives and that his recent injury compromises his effectiveness. Although Dolinski insists he's fully recovered, Opal remains unconvinced and offers him an alternative role in the field, training new, younger assassins. Dolinski arrives at a bowling alley to meet Wihlborg, a young assassin with a cocky attitude who avoids alcohol, claiming he feels uncomfortable even being around it. Wihlborg insists Dolinski's role is simply to observe and offer feedback on how he handles assignments, but Dolinski asserts he's the one in charge. On the drive to Belfast, Northern Ireland, Dolinski notices Wihlborg's painted fingernails and mocks him for it. They stop at a karaoke bar in Soho, London, to collect their equipment, where Dolinski is warmly greeted by the manager, Anata, and her assistant, Lola. When Dolinski mentions they're heading to Belfast, Anata remarks he's lucky, as she's always wanted to visit there. Dolinski playfully suggests that Anata could leave Lola to watch over the business while she's gone. Upon arriving in Belfast, the trio meets their contact, Milo, who immediately comments on Wihlborg's unusual appearance. Milo informs them that their target will be located at a golf club. Dolinski asks who exactly the target is, prompting Milo to show concern at Dolinski's lack of energy. Milo then shares that Opal believes Wihlborg is a hitman prodigy, similar to Dolinski in his prime, but notes that he has a habit of killing innocent bystanders. Dolinski dismissively responds that Wihlborg is merely half a retard who paints his nails. Dolinski and Wihlborg arrive near the woods outside the Clandboy Golf Club to prepare for the hit. Dolinski instructs Wihlborg to remain at the car, deciding he will handle the assassination himself. Wihlborg protests, reminding Dolinski that his role is supposed to be advisory. Nevertheless, Dolinski insists on proving he can still perform flawlessly, despite his injured hand. Using binoculars, Dolinski spots the target with his guards. When the target's golf ball lands nearby, Dolinski moves the ball closer to the woods, pretending to be another golfer. As the target approaches to retrieve his ball, Dolinski attempts to shoot him but misses due to pain in his hand. The target flees and Dolinski pursues him, alerting the guards who follow closely behind. Dolinski eventually finds the target hiding but becomes trapped when the guards corner him. Wihlborg arrives and swiftly eliminates both the target and the guards. The following day in their hotel room, Dolinski reflects on the previous night's events, complimenting Wihlborg's shooting skills in a conversation with Anata. Later, Dolinski and Wihlborg head to Drumbo Park Stadium, where they meet their superior, William, and another assassin named Simone. William hands Dolinski a file containing details about their next target, Barbierri, but Dolinski refuses, labeling it a suicide mission. William reminds Dolinski he doesn't have a choice, especially as Wihlborg subtly draws his weapon. It's then revealed that their target is the leader of a rival criminal organization. The man killed earlier at the golf course was third in line, being trained as the organization's future leader. Spotting an opportunity amid internal power struggles, their plan is to eliminate the top leadership, merging both organizations into a larger unified UK syndicate. Barbierri is second in command, followed by Jacek, whose location remains unknown. Because Barbierri has a beachside residence, they plan to attack via water. Afterward, Dolinski reprimands Wihlborg for pulling a gun on him earlier, advising him to think independently and not blindly follow orders, warning that obedience without judgment will get him killed. The duo proceeds to the beach, but discovers their boat stranded ashore due to faulty information about the tide schedule. Concerned, Wihlborg questions Dolinski's sobriety and fitness because of his injured hand. Ultimately, they walk 1.5 miles to reach their target's location. That night, Dolinski and Wihlborg arrive at Barbierri's heavily guarded mansion, successfully sneaking in unnoticed. They confront Barbierri at gunpoint while he's watching a soccer match. Suddenly, Barbierri's granddaughter, Macy, walks into the room, asking for water. Dolinski gently tends to her request, giving her water and escorting her back to bed. While Wihlborg checks the house for others, Dolinski casually chats with Barbierri, even offering him a drink. Appreciative of Dolinski's kindness toward Macy and noticing Dolinski's younger partner, Barbierri attempts to persuade Dolinski by suggesting that training younger assassins inevitably leads to replacement. He offers Dolinski triple his current pay if he kills Wihlborg instead. When Wihlborg returns, Dolinski briefly seems tempted but suddenly shoots Barbierri in the head. The two manage to leave the scene undetected. That night, Dolinski and Wihlborg meet William at a bar, where he praises their teamwork, but Dolinski remains distracted, reflecting on Barbierri's earlier words. After William leaves, Wihlborg asks Dolinski why he didn't mention the child. Dolinski explains that he only kills people who deserve it, while Wihlborg counters that where he's from, survival dictates actions, not morality. The argument escalates into a physical fight, which is broken up when Anata arrives to calm them down. Later that evening, Dolinski and Anata go out dancing at a nightclub, enjoying themselves. When Dolinski steps outside for a smoke, he spots Barbierri's men approaching and attempts to warn Anata, but he's quickly captured by the goons. As they intimidate and threaten Dolinski's life, Anata arrives and holds one goon at gunpoint. Dolinski takes her gun and tries reasoning with the men, explaining the conflict should remain between their bosses. However, when the goons vow they'll find and kill both of them, Dolinski swiftly shoots them down, regaining confidence in his shooting skills. Dolinski and Anata retreat to Dolinski's mother's house, where he introduces Anata, and they spend the night there. The next morning, Dolinski calls Wihlborg to apologize for their previous altercation, and Wihlborg praises him for successfully taking down 3 attackers. Wihlborg then informs Dolinski that Simone has finally tracked down Jacek's location. Later, outside the Grand Central Hotel, Dolinski and Wihlborg carefully plan their approach since Jacek has security throughout the building. Posing as a delivery man, Dolinski unloads appliance boxes, bribing a guard with drugs. After Dolinski leaves, Wihlborg emerges from the boxes and moves toward Jacek's room. Meanwhile, Dolinski waits outside the hotel and spots Simone acting suspiciously alongside Jacek's men. Realizing it's a setup, he tries to warn Wihlborg, but communication is cut. Inside the hotel, Wihlborg breaks into Jacek's room, only to find it empty. He's quickly cornered by guards, shot, and captured. Meanwhile, Jacek's men, disguised as tree trimmers, arrive at Opal's mansion, kill her assistant, and storm the residence. Elsewhere, Dolinski meets Milo, who hands him cash and instructs him to take his mother and drive to a safe place. Milo then reveals that Opal was killed half an hour earlier. Dolinski rushes to his mother's house, but before he can explain what's happening, gunfire erupts. Quickly, he takes his mother and Anata upstairs, attempting to negotiate with the attacker, Simone. When Simone continues firing, Dolinski shields himself using an ironing board covered in books, charges toward her, and shoots her dead. Afterward, Dolinski instructs Anata to take his mother to safety, then formulates a plan to rescue Wihlborg. He fills a gallon container with gasoline and drives to a cafe owned by Jacek. After evacuating the patrons, Dolinski shoots one of Jacek's men and sets the place ablaze. Later, as Jacek and his men investigate the burned-out cafe, Dolinski secretly trails them. He rams their car with his vehicle, causing a crash, and captures Jacek to negotiate in exchange for Wihlborg. At an abandoned building designated for the exchange, Jacek's men bring Wihlborg, but one goon suddenly stabs Wihlborg in the abdomen. At the same moment, a sniper fires at Dolinski but misses. A fierce gunfight ensues, with Dolinski managing to eliminate several of Jacek's henchmen. During the chaos, Jacek escapes, protected by one of his guards. Dolinski eventually takes out most of the remaining attackers, but is cornered by the last two. Just when it seems he's trapped, Wihlborg eliminates them with a sniper shot, saving Dolinski's life. Dolinski helps Wihlborg into the car, and Wihlborg tells him he shouldn't have come back for him. Dolinski confidently replies, "I'm the GOAT." If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.